Hi, thanks for joining me again for another one of my videos. Today I'll be taking you back into my classroom once again to talk about how we use a scanner as a high definition camera. So it's a really cheap and easy way to use your scanner as an HD camera or to do some macro photography, close-up photography. And here you're seeing some student examples. Again, this is only a small sample of them, but we're going to take you through the scanning process today as well as through the secret editing process that involves using Adobe Camera Raw. So once again, we're in the classroom, and here you're going to see a group of students who are preparing to scan, and they're going to, Ariana's going to stick her face in the scanner here, and Yazin is going to cover her head with a black sheet so that we get a nice black background. While they're doing that, Anna's setting up the scanner and she's putting in some of the required settings. And once we have the scans, we're going to take you into the demonstration where we talk about what we do with them and how we edit them. Scanography was basically an assignment where you took photos with a scanner. You're not using a camera, you're using a scanner. So what we need to do, first of all, once your group scans, is you go to Bridge. This is probably one of the more important parts of this. You have to go to Bridge to do this. Even those of you who are like, why do I need Bridge? I'm just going to open the ones I'm going to look at and I'm going to start there. You need to go to Bridge, and I'll show you why in just a second. The scans are starting to come in. And it looks like they did, I don't know, 15 or 20, which is fine. Let's pick one. I'll pick one that has the paints and brushes and has my stuff in there. So let's say I want to do image 11. If I just double click this image will not open in Camera Raw because a scanner does not shoot in RAW. So we have to trick Bridge into opening this as a RAW file. So there's a little option up here under File. This is the part that's like the secret. Instead of going to Open, we're going to go here, Open in Camera Raw. Because now what will happen is it takes it into RAW as though it is a RAW file, even though it isn't. And the only thing that I've noticed is really different about editing photos that aren't RAW photos in RAW is that you can't change the white balance. You can't choose the different white balance options because it wasn't a camera and it doesn't really have lighting because it was scanned. But who cares? Because if I want to change the temperature, I can just do that here. Now the other thing, there is another difference. The other difference is you're not maintaining the high quality original image that we do when we take a RAW photograph. You're actually mushing around the pixels and you're editing directly on this image. Anyway, I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see the amount of detail that's captured by that scanner. Look at that, right? Like you can actually see the fine print on the markers, and you could see the texture of the paint that's coming out of here. I mean, it's like a high definition capture of whatever it is you shot, which you can really appreciate when you open them. So what are we going to do now? The first thing you need to do is you need to crop it so that it's 4:5. So the first thing you do when you open it is go, okay, I'm going to change this to 4:5, and then I'm going to choose how I want this thing cropped. Do I want it cropped like this? Do I want to like focus on a specific area? Maybe you just want to scan, this part of it, or maybe you want to tilt this a little bit, or maybe you want to make it a horizontal capture. I'm just going to do something random here. Something like that, but it's always going to be at a ratio of 4:5. The reason for that is we want to print these as 8x10s. You press return and it crops it, so you're ready to go. And now you just go through and start working on all these different areas. If I change the temperature, I can cool the image down, I can warm it up, I can change the tint from green to magenta. Here's where you really get into it. You could really turn the lights on, right, and change the exposure. You can increase contrast or decrease contrast. We've got the highlights here where I think we'll bring those down a bit. The shadows will probably brighten them a little bit. Let's turn this down a little bit. I'm just kind of working through this quickly to get something. So you need to go through and edit these. And what I just did was, again, really quick and sort of random. But you'd want to think about your decisions and what you're making, what you're doing with this. You could turn these black and white if you want to. We could sharpen them as if they're not sharp enough already. Convert it to grayscale and see what it looks like as a black and white image and play around with that. I'd rather leave it in color. So when you're done with the image, you're going to click Open. So what are the key things we need to remember? 1, scan with a group and make a contact sheet. 2, pick the ones you want to work on. 3, open them from Bridge and do some raw editing. And then 4, if you want to go above and beyond, ask me for ways that you can make it even better, and I'll show you some Photoshop things that you can do to this.
Thanks for watching. There's a little button that they put on the laptop or something, and then they say click it, and then you can never even miss a video.
That's if you subscribe.